touched them. Their faith touched Jesus' faith. And the Bible said immediately their eyes opened up. Anybody need a right now miracle? Anybody need a right now blessing? I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, do you need a right now miracle? I'm getting ready to sit down in 4.5 minutes. I'm almost through here. Look at somebody else and say, do you need a right now miracle? So the Bible said now these two blind men, the same men that had no help, they are the only ones that get in the house. Well, whose house was this house? Because they were never invited into the house, but yet they get in the house and they get in the presence of God. Well, the two blind men had already made up in their mind, I don't care whose house this is, I know who's in that house, and my miracle is in that house. And because my miracle is in that house, I'm going to get in there in spite of what the owners may say. Can I talk to 5 people in here? You got to make up in your mind this year that you don't care who gets in your way, that I got to get my miracle. I need about 5 praises in here that'll open up your mouth and say, I got to get my miracle. Well, you might have somebody that's looking at you right now and they don't understand the reason why you're giving God a praise right now. But I believe when the blind men have the Lord touch their eyes, I believe they said, amazing grace. I need some Bible folk and some old-fashioned folk in here. Amazing grace. How sweet. I wish I could go back there. Lord, let me leave that alone. See, can anybody go way back and thank God that you used to be blind, but anybody can thank God that you're seeing now? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, oh neighbor, I once was blind. I used to make some silly mistakes. I got tied up in some crazy mess. But anybody glad for grace and mercy? Anybody glad that the devil tried to kill you? He tried to assassinate you. He tried to annihilate you. But you better